Hey, I thought it might be kind of fun to do something different because, being creative is always about doing something different. So I thought, why not make a video? Let's do a video episode and turn it into a podcast. So that's what this is. And I was looking at my stats the other day and going through various things, and it became clear to me that one of the most popular topics that I've covered so far is definitely this idea of creative journaling and where that can get you and the uses for it. So I thought I would do another episode and go through and talk about that. So this one I have some suggestions for your creative journaling, and I think that the first thing you should do is kind of have a consistent list of things that maybe you put in the journal, and you've also got to go through and decide, how regularly do you do this? Because some of the things will be different depending on the sort of the periods that you go through, and be it a daily, a weekly, a monthly kind of setup. So we'll take a look at those too. So approaching it from a weekly perspective first, let's say that you decide to go the route of once a week, something like that. So what you could do is look in and go, well, what have I achieved this week, right? What have I learned? So you could do a little list, if you like, even just a bullet list in a journal of things that I've learned this week. And you can just list them out or go into any detail that you want to go into. So that's one. Another thing could be, what are you thinking about doing for the next week, right? So, for example, here's what I did this week. Next week, I think I'm going to do this, this, and this. And then that way you're also sort of setting yourself a little achievement, a little set of to-dos and goals for the next week. And then, once you reach the end of the next week, you can go back again. You can look in your journal and you can put down whether you achieved those, check them off and repeat the process. So that actually serves a dual purpose as well, because not only do you get that sense of achievement from achieving those, but it drives you forward to work on them as well. And if during the week you find yourself thinking, what shall I do this week? You've got your regular allotted time for creativity that I've spoken about before. And this way you can look and go, oh, okay, I haven't done this yet, and I said I would, so I can go through and do that. So that's another thing that you can do. So they're kind of really weekly goals, because I think it would be a tall order to try and achieve those every day. Another thing you can put down, and this one could be a weekly or a daily, is what good things happened to you this week, right? Maybe you made some good discoveries. Maybe you sold a painting, some artwork, some content. Someone purchased a book, a video, whatever it is that your creative pursuit is, right? Maybe that's happened. So putting down, maybe you created 2 new artworks this week, okay? So that it helps with that sense of achievement of getting things done. And again, it's all about momentum and keeping that momentum going forward. So for the podcast here, I'm going to take a quick break, and when we come back after the break, we'll look at the rest of these suggestions. So another suggestion would be, let's go on the flip side of the one we just spoke about. So instead of the things that went right and your achievements, what didn't go right this week, right? Because there's always something. There's always something that goes wrong or took longer than you expected. Some little hiccup, hopefully it's a little one, that happens every week for you. So that's something else you can write about. And then maybe you have a suggestion on how you can fix this. So you can go back and say, okay, this is what went wrong this week. Next week I'm going to do it again, and this is how I'm going to fix this. So that's something else that you could do. And then, another one is, did you have like a eureka moment, right? One of those moments where you was working on something and it seemed to take forever, and then at the last minute, you solved a problem and it just came to you. That's a great thing to put in a journal. So that's just a few suggestions on what you can put in for creative journaling. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe if this helps you in any way. Leave comments with your own suggestions, or go to peterwhittam.com/contact. Send them to me. Reach out to me on Twitter. At UIBuzz is where you can find me on Twitter. And with that, I will speak to you in the next episode.